In this tutorial, you will learn how to use the Lunch Points program. Lunch Points is our home generalization portion of lunch groups. So to access it, you can just go to lunchpoints.com or click under Current Families and then Lunch Points. You'll see our nice smiley face, or you click on the link below, and first thing you're going to need to do is type in the password that was given to you. Once you do that, our recommendation is that you create your own account. You'll only have to do this one time. So you'll click down here, but just before you do that, let's look at what's going on up here. We have rewritten Lunch Points from the ground up, and in the latest version, what you are able to do is speed it up for use on cell phones and or tablets. So you see how there's directions down here? If you no longer need those directions, go ahead and click Experienced, and you'll see that they'll go away. Also, if you are on a data plan where you really need to conserve your data, or you simply want to have the speediest experience possible, go ahead and choose Express, and as you'll see, that'll make even more graphics go away. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and use Novice mode. So you can see here, there are general directions down here, but as I said, the first thing to do is to create your account. So go ahead and click here, and we're going to create an account, create a password, and yes, I've made a mistake, as you might also. So just take this information, paste it over here. Don't worry about the password, just retype it, putting it in here. I believe it has to be at least 6 characters. And be sure to put in your email address. Click Submit, and as you can see, it's created an account for you. Now, ignore this part. You won't need that anymore. And let's just go through this. So down here, it's going to ask which of our programs you're participating in. So currently we're in summer, so let's go ahead and say that it happens to be one of the summer kids. Down here, you'll indicate your child's first name. We're going to use the one that says Demo. And what's your relationship to that child? Notice that we've included, and this is really more for school year, the ability for school staff to be able to reward kids as well. If that's something that you're interested in, you should contact us because there are some special procedures that we need to put into place. Pick your validation code, and you'll see that this will come up in a different order each time, and just pick one that makes sense for you and keep using it consistently. Now you indicate what today's date is, so you just click on today. When did the behavior happen? We want you to be giving lunch points, ideally within 12 hours, ideally right away when it happens, or within an hour or two. You can tell the child right away and say, when we get home, I'm going to be issuing a lunch point certificate for you. But maybe it happened just before bedtime and you didn't get a chance to, so you're letting them know the next morning. That would be fine. And where did it happen? We've expanded the range of choices. So you can be more specific if you wish. Otherwise, just indicate home, community, wherever it happens to be. Then, what was the actual behavior? I've lost count, but I think we have about 50 behaviors on here. So thinking about last night, you can look down and you can go down to where it says technology bedtime. Maybe that's what it was, and they were in bed by the agreed upon time. We've tried to keep this pretty general for you. If being in bed upon the agreed upon time isn't what you feel would be appropriate, do at least one time go through the entire list. It'll only take you a minute or two and see, is it more important that maybe your child followed your requests? Maybe it was a multi-step request that led to them being in bed on time, and that's more important to focus on. And so now here, you're going to indicate, how did the behavior occur? Did they do it spontaneously, meaning without being asked? Was it after you asked them one time? Or did you have to give them additional reminders? Main thing is that getting them to do the behavior efficiently is what's most important, and the less used to engaging in the behavior independently your child is, the more likely you're going to need to give them some kind of assistance. So if this happens to have been the behavior that was emailed to you, then yes, it was a superhero behavior, and there can only be one of these. That gets your child a special ticket when they come back into the office for a special raffle. We're going to say no. In this next section right here, you have choices about how to receive the certificate, whether you want it right now or whether you want it sent to you, that kind of thing. So if you're at your computer and you're able to print it out right now, fine, just ignore this part. However, perhaps you're on your cell phone, and if so, you want to be able to print it out later, click here. So it'll be sent to your email address, which you'll just put in right down here. Maybe you don't have a printer at all and it's broken, click here, and it will be sent to us. We must receive it by midnight before the day of group. So certainly we don't want you up until midnight, but the point is we don't want to receive it, at least in the summer, the morning of when the kids are coming. That's going to involve rushing. It's last minute. That's not how we want to have the certificates generated. However, school year, well, if it's in the afternoon and something happened in the morning and you print out a certificate for your child, that's fine. But then we don't want it just 15 or 30 minutes before group as well. And finally, if you want a receipt, great. Just go ahead and click there and you'll get a receipt for your own records. Okay, that's all there is to it.